Hey there, Brainy Marketers. Welcome back to another episode, another day in the life of the Brainy Marketer. So today we're going to be covering a really important topic. If it's your first time on this channel, it's a great time to be here. We're covering digital marketing plans and how you can build the most thorough, the most kick-ass digital marketing plan in just 5 easy steps. And believe me, I did a bit of research looking on the internet before this to see what kind of stuff other people were saying in the marketing industry, and I found a lot of tripe. And for people who aren't from London, tripe just means, I don't actually know what it means, it's kind of a fish or something, but it means a lot of baloney. There you go, Americans understand baloney. So tripe or baloney, there's a lot of it out there. They're just simply not the way you should be creating a marketing plan. So please stick with me. I've been doing this for a long time, for over 4 years. I'm the founder of a marketing agency called The Brains here in London, worked with hundreds and hundreds of SMEs, had the privilege of over 80 clients in that time. And believe me, the marketing plan is a critical backbone of any marketing and still so poorly understood.
Are you yawning in the middle of this while I'm breaking it down? Huh? Did you hear what I said?
Stop listening after you said we need a plan.
Let's dive off. But before I start with point number 1, I want to just lay this seed in your head as we carry through this. And it'll become clear. Content marketing strategy drives marketing strategy. Marketing strategy drives marketing implementation. So content strategy equals marketing strategy drives implementation. So let's start with step number 1. We need to tackle our content before we even think about where we're going to be doing our marketing, okay? And what I mean is we need to establish who we are selling to. Whether you're building a website, whether you're doing any marketing, if you don't know who you're selling to, you shouldn't be building it, right? You need to specifically tell me who are the people that I sell to. And it's not just I want more customers if I'm an e-commerce store, I don't care. Or it's not if you're a B2B, I just want more sales, I just want to speak to more business owners. Involved in the decision-making process, especially in B2B, are multiple people. You know, you might have a sales manager that you talk to, you might have an HR manager, and then you also have smaller companies where you sell directly to the business owner. You might have the finance director who often, or procurement, who gets involved all the time. There'll be many personas or players in the sales game for you as a B2B company. And as a B2C company, you know, you might sell a product that attracts young women, but also attracts older women. And they have different reasons for wanting the same product. Some might be wearing it for the gym, others might be wearing it because it's casual houseware. These are discrete groups of people buying your product for discrete reasons. And you need to define what are their key issues, what are their triggers, what makes them want your product over others or your service over others. And this will form the core of your marketing strategy. So in terms of the content that you produce, the ads you create, the people that you target, how you set up your targeting on the different advertising channels, eventually when we get there, this is where it comes from. You first have to do this work. So I've got a video over here on my channel where you can learn more about personas. Maybe watch that, then come back here if it's useful for you, if it's your first time understanding that concept. But yes, personas drive everything. Now, so let's say step 1, tick. We've done our personas. Now we need to work out in terms of what ads are we going to create and all this. Don't worry about the channels now. What do I want to say to these people? How do I want to convince them? What messages do I want to say to them? What imagery are they going to respond to? Things like, you know, are they going to need FAQs? Is the finance director going to want to see return on investment calculations? Is the you know, young woman going to want to see pictures of people in the gym and her favorite influencers in the gym? Is the older woman going to want to see, you know, her favorite influencers or people lounging around the house? You see, you need to work out what specific creative goes for each persona. And you need to create that. It could be white papers, webinars, ebooks, all of this stuff. What do these different personas, do the young people want webinars, but the older people want something else? You need to work all of this out. So that's step number 2, create the content for your personas. Now, step number 3, let's get into the actual marketing strategy. So where we're going to deliver these ads, what channels, etc. So before we even start looking at channels, and it could be multiple channels that apply to your business, we're going to first root ourselves in some real numbers here. Customer lifetime value and cost per acquisition. And if you're B2B, you're also going to add cost per lead. Now, wait for me a second before we get into all of that. So customer lifetime value, I've covered extensively on this channel, and it really is the core marketing metric. There's no more important marketing metric than CLV. If you don't know what it is, go watch all my videos on that, then come back here. So customer lifetime value means the average amount of net profit you make per customer over the lifetime of you knowing them, which equals to how much one customer is worth to you. So whether you're B2C or B2B, you know, people repeat buy, they buy for many months, or they take additional services. You want to work out what the average customer is spending with you and what profit you make off that over the lifetime of you knowing them, so say like 3 years. If you don't have this data, you need to make some educated guesses and look for industry averages, etc. But ideally, you want to be going through your CRM or auditing your, you know, the back end of your Shopify or wherever you're selling stuff, and work this number out. And there's lots of tutorials online on how to do this. I might make one in the future. I've just explained the concept here. But you want to arrive at a number where you say, yep, I'm happy with this. If you could get me customers at £50 per customer or at £500 per customer, I would make a profit off that, a nice profit off that. So this is what I want my customer lifetime value to be. This is what I want my cost per acquisition to be, so that I make, you know, a good profit. And if you're B2B, you'll have a certain win rate on new opportunities that come to you or new leads. So you want to have a cost per lead so that, you know, 1 out of 10 succeed or 1 out of 5 succeed. And so when you add up all the cost per leads, it equals the cost per acquisition. Now, if any of this sounds like funky, all these terms, I have a special video that I also just created on marketing terminology 101. That might be useful to watch before this. But for those who know, you know exactly what I'm driving at. So now we can actually do our projections because we're rooted. We know what cost per acquisition we want because it's based on customer lifetime value. We know exactly how much we want to spend to acquire a new customer, ideally much less than that number, but we know our limit, we know our ceiling. So now we're going to do 12-month projections for each channel that we think is going to work. For B2B, you'll do LinkedIn, cold email, LinkedIn bots, you know, affiliate marketing, telesales, whatever channels you want to look at. If you're B2C, it might be Facebook, Insta, Google, you know, SEO even you can do this with. And you do 12-month projections. And I'll make another video on projections, but you do 12-month projections and you work out, you know, if I spend 10K a month on advertising, how soon is it going to be before I generate enough business from that 10K that on average it's costing me, you know, 50 quid or 500 quid to acquire a new customer, to actually close them on the phone or for them to actually check out, pay with their credit card details, oh boy, and give us sweet cash. How long is it going to take to do that, right? And then you want to pick the channels that seem like they're going to be quickest. For many companies, it's Google advertising because it's intent-based. Others, it could be Facebook, you know, YouTube advertising. It depends on what the numbers are telling you. And this is where you probably need expert advice. If you're unfamiliar with the different channels, you are going to need to seek expert advice on that point. And on that note, you can get in touch with me at any point, someone from my team at least. There should be a link in the description below. Or you can try out my automated marketing consultant called Larrybot, which is www.larrybot.net. You can go there and fill in some details, and an automated artificial intelligence version of myself will just give you marketing recommendations. So you might get some help from that. And this brings us to the final point. Step 5 is you've picked these channels that you want. Just keep going with the channels until the maximum number of impressions have been reached. Now, what do I mean by that? Obviously, if you're doing Facebook ads, there's only a certain number of people that meet your criteria and you're targeting. Once you've completely exhausted that, then move over to the second most profitable channel, or the second, you know, easiest channel. So go least path of resistance. I've done my projections based on my CPAs for all these different potential channels. Looks like LinkedIn's a clear winner here. I'm going to go for LinkedIn, put all my eggs in there. And I'm going to add email retargeting later as my second channel, but I'm going to phase it like that. So there you have the foundation of your plan, guys. You have what messaging you need defined by what personas. You can lay that all out in your plan. These are who we're going after. This is what triggers we have for them. This is what content we're going to prepare for them. And we're going to advertise them on these channels for the next 12 months. I'm going to phase in first this one, then I'm going to add this one, then I'm going to add this one. And they're all going to net out at an acceptable cost per acquisition to me. And hey, I'm going to make loads of cash from my marketing plan. So I hope that was really useful. Content strategy drives marketing strategy, drives where you implement it, marketing implementation. Hope that is crystal clear. If it's not, hit me up with a comment. Subscribe to this channel and I'll follow up with loads of other videos on this kind of thing. Hope it was useful, and take care everyone. See you for the next video. Bye.